Our news has been full of stories about cultural differences. We have people taking to the streets aggressively, women owning their nastiness and marching on our capitals. We have athletes taking a knee, all in the name of just trying to do something about social injustice. The masses come out against these acts, proclaiming that that's not the way to do it. I find myself asking them, then what is? They have no answers. I don't have the answer either, and certainly not that could be outlined in a few minutes. But I disagree that that's not how to do it. Though I don't have all the answers, I do know where to start. The bottom line is love, but how do we get there? We oftentimes find ourselves standing by and wondering, why don't they do something whenever a tragedy happens to a group of people? Whether it be fear-mongering in the form of banning individuals from entering our country, or a senseless shooting of an unarmed black man, or the harassment of a gay couple just trying to eat dinner. We wait for them to fix things. The thing is, we are they. We have to see ourselves as the answer rather than waiting for someone else to formulate one. We have to not just talk the talk, but we have to walk the walk. I read that you cannot change any society unless you take responsibility for it, unless you see yourself as belonging to it and responsible for change. About 8 years ago, I was a vocal critic of the city. And at some point, I got the notion that I could do that job and maybe change things that I was unhappy about. So I set about inserting myself into everything in this community. I went to everything. I got involved in as much as I could. I made myself really belong to this community. And then I made myself responsible for changing it. I put myself out there and I got elected. I've never been one to play the girl card, but I'm not going to lie to you and tell you sometimes I haven't been treated differently because I'm a woman. Many times I've been the only woman at the table, and oddly, something I've noticed over the years of being on the city council is that even though I work on hard projects like fire suppression systems for downtown buildings, or water pipelines, or how to increase revenue in our city, I get branded with the things that people consider more frivolous, like parks and Ferris wheels. I have no false pretenses of thinking that has nothing to do with being a woman. It's frustrating, but at the end of the day, I have been blessed to work with people that respect me for my knowledge and my perspective of the pulse of this city. I know the pulse of this city because I entrench myself in it. I talk to people, I get involved, I interact with folks that are sometimes cruel when it would be easier not to. But from all that, I have a better understanding of how this community feels. I said all that to say that I have been able to make changes because I made myself belong to this community. If you want to see changes and you want to see diversity embraced in this community, then you have to do that too. Make yourself really belong to it. Get involved, be present, be vocal. Don't sit and wait for them to fix things. Walk the walk. I know it's hard, but it's worth it. It would be easier to be oblivious to the hurts that many people face. It would be easier to not think about it. But it's much more gratifying to your soul to know that you had a hand in making it better. We keep seeing and hearing comments about this person or that person keeping the country divided. I don't buy that at all. The only people keeping the country divided is the people. No one can make someone else be a racist. I will agree that they can absolutely make the environment right for people thinking it's okay to crawl out of the woodwork like cockroaches, but we the people have the power to stomp them out. What we allow is what will continue. People ask me why I engage with rude people and tell me I should just ignore it. I refuse to do that. They got that way because people ignored them and allowed them to be that way. I don't allow it. We as a community have to stop allowing it. We have to stand up for what's right or take a knee for what's right. If they don't address the issues, we have to. I know it feels like a long, endless road to nowhere, but the shell must be broken before the bird can fly. So I encourage you to fly in the face of adversity and break out of your comfort zone. Get involved, be present, be the change you want, and above all, just love each other and embrace our differences, even those that don't love us back, because they need it the most. Thank you.